I was from a broken home. My two sisters and my brother went in orphans' homes. And my grandmother and a few other people, for some ungodly reason, kept me, and I didn't have to go, but I was in there. One night, my granddad came to a place that I was staying at. These people, they had a goat farm, and I lived on a goat farm for a while. My granddad come by and picked me up and took me and said, would you like to go see your mom? And I hadn't seen her in a while. And yeah, you know, I want to see her. And so I left with just what I had on my back. He took me and we met Mom. And he took us some out of the way place and put us back on a train, and we went to Monroe, Michigan. And that's how I got to know my stepdad. And he wound up being quite a guy in my life and brought me through a lot of stuff. The Korean War was going on when I was grown up, and I just couldn't wait to get in the Marine Corps. And I tried to join, and my mother wouldn't sign when I was 17. And but I was going to be 18 in June of this year, of that year, 1958. I was going to be 18. And I told my mom when I got 18 I'm going to join anyway. And I done put it off for a year because she wouldn't sign as soon as I was 17.
Right.
She wouldn't sign. Went 6 months later, she finally decided to go ahead and sign for me. So in February, she signed for me. I went to the Marine Corps. I was there 4 years. I loved it, and matter of fact, I got a picture here of the very first bull I ever rode the limit on. The first one I ever rode for 8 seconds. There was a photographer there, and anybody made the whistle, he always got a picture of him. And so that was one of your rewards for riding the first bull. He's a great big guy. He was about 6'7" or 8" and weighed about 300 pounds. Wee Willie Davidson, I never forget him. He was a good friend of mine, wound up being. But I wanted to wrestle, and I kept bugging him to get me in a match, and he got me in one day. And the first pro I ever wrestled was him. You know, I always say that I had a lot of miracles. People talk about miracles, and I've lived through a few of them. I think one miracle was when I met my wife, and the next one was when I met Lee Fields. He trained me to wrestle. He told me, he said, well, I'd like to do something with you and try to get you on top in this business down here, but you don't know enough. And he said, I said, well, what am I going to do about that? And he said, well, if you're willing to work, I'll help you. And I said, man, boss, you just tell me what I need to do, and we'll get down to nitty gritty. This one here is the original Gulf Coast title. It was also won by Mario.
Right.
Yvonne Rivera had it. Billy Wicks. There's just all kinds of people that I'm talking about talented. Everybody watches NASCAR racing now.
Sure.
Everybody sitting at home watching TV was wishing they was in one of them cars. And I did the same thing. So I went and bought me an old junker and went out there and started racing and wound up with a pretty good car, wound up with some guys. Finally, Lee got a car because I was doing so good. He decided he was going to get one. And so Richard started building Lee's car, and I got Richard Brooks to build my car, and he was also a good builder. And we had some good cars and had some good races. I won quite a few races at Mobile, Pensacola.
Was your relationship with Lee Fields better when you were wrestling or racing?
Our relationship was just number one, no matter what. I feel like that Lee and I, it wouldn't have made any difference what we was doing. We'd have been the same. If we'd have been, I don't care, you just name it. If we'd have been in it together, we'd have been the same.
Right. And
she hung in there with me with all these kids, and when I started wrestling, I told her what I was going to do. And she said, well, you know, whatever you want to do, you do it, and I'll be with you. That was when I first went on the road.
right.
I talked to her about it, what I was wanting to do, and she said, you're the one, and you want to do that, I'll be right there with you. I can't believe how truthful she was and how she stuck with me the way she did. But she did, and this year, we'll be married in June, 47 years.